Good evening, my love. I know you're probably wondering what's up with the background. Oh, what is going on? So it looks like I'm having a little bit of a problem with the broadcast. So if you're on YouTube, you should be fine. If you're on Facebook, there might be an issue. So I'm sorry, guys, bear with me. Um, Honey, if you could post the YouTube link in the Love Attraction community, that would be so helpful. I don't know what's wrong with the other two broadcasts. They're not working. I'm showing issues. So I don't want to try to mess with that while I'm broadcasting. So if you could put the YouTube link in the Love Attraction community on Facebook, that would be so helpful, honey. Thank you so much. My husband here, front and center. We just finished prayer, like always. If you are new to the channel, welcome to Destination Deanna. My name is Deanna. I am the Love Guide, and I would love for you to consider Destination Deanna your self-help learning library for all things love. I specifically teach Love Attraction Mastery. So, there's a plethora of all of that here, but we talk about all things relationship related, love related, anything to assist you in preparing for, marriage, long-term relationships, overall, just leveling up your love experiences, right? So every Monday, I go live at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I have a topic-based lesson. If you are in my Love Attraction community on Facebook, most of the time I will let them kind of give me topics, or if I'm in between topics, I might allow them to vote on it, but I take their suggestions all the time. So please, if you're on Facebook, make sure that you look us up in groups. Love Attraction Community. It's a photo of myself and my amazing husband, Will. Join the Love Attraction community there. Answer the questions. We'll let you in. So let's go ahead and get to tonight's topic. Change your language to attract love. I mean, obviously, I teach Love Attraction Mastery, so I'm going to teach you everything that is going to assist you in attracting not only just more love into your life, but greater quality love experiences into your life. Thank you so much, honey. So it's been posted in the community. Thank you so much. So I always start off with my intention. So it's really clear like what my intention for the lesson is. So my intention tonight is to encourage you to focus more on your language. Like more specifically, the words you're choosing and the energy that they carry. So the words you're choosing are important, but even more than that, recognizing that the words we choose, they carry energy. And we want the energy of positivity. We want the energy of attraction. My ladies, we want the energy of femininity. My fellas, we want the energy of masculinity. So we want to choose words that align in energy. Okay. So what I'm not doing, I'm also very clear on that. I'm not here to tell you that you have to do things exactly how I do them. You don't have to choose the words I'm telling you to choose. I am merely making suggestions and letting you know the substitutions that I've made that have made a positive impact in my life. And I teach them to my clients. So I know that not only has this worked for me, but it's worked for hundreds of other people that follow me and that have worked with me, like my actual clients. So they have been proven to change their mindset about love, also change like the trajectory of what they are attracting. So with that being said, let me just tell you like why this lesson, right? I have kind of always had maybe like a close relationship with God, a spiritual gifting, and there have been a lot of things about life that I just innately knew. Like before I experienced them, before I learned them in school, before someone actually taught me what they were, I just had this knowing of them. And language has always been something that I've just had a divine understanding about. And I'm going to be so transparent with you guys. Like, please do not judge me off of this truth that I'm about to share. These word swaps that I made, I had never looked these words up. I honestly made the changes in language and swaps based on how they felt to me, based on like the energy that they would bring. I just made the changes to different words or different phrases, or I reframed them differently. But whenever I'm going to teach you all something, it's so funny. When it comes to me, I'm kind of like with my gut, like I just know it's right, so I do it. But when I'm going to come teach you all something, I always do my due diligence. Like before I'm using a word or I'm telling you all to do something, I'm like looking it up. I'm looking for context clues. I'm like learning the history of things. I'm like, okay, what's the psychology of that? Like I really feel a responsibility for being, or at least trying my best to be accurate, right, with the information. So these words tonight, I looked them all up. So not only are we going to talk about the energy of them, but we're going to talk about the actual meanings of them that I'm like, I don't know if we all know these words. I don't know if we would choose them if we knew the exact meanings of them. So before I get into the swaps, let me check out the comments because I see people are checking in. Hey, Shaka, thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, my husband's greeting family. All right. So let's go. I'm going to give you 7. There's obviously more. 7 is my favorite number. So you're usually going to see me teach in like 3s, 5s, 7s. 3, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. 5 is my husband's favorite number. 7 is mine. If I got to get something really long, it might be 10 or 12. 10, we both, listen, I got reasons. But tonight it's 7. So 7 love swaps to make. And these are the particular words or phrases. Because everything kind of has a meaning, even how I'm putting things on the screen matter. So let me explain to you as you're watching it. I'm going to put the negative connotation on the screen, but it's going to scroll because I don't want you focusing on it too much, right? Let it scroll on by. The positive thing that I want you to focus on, I'm going to keep it static on the screen so you can see it. So it is the predominant thing. So it is a thing that we'll be reminded of. And I may even take the negative off once I put the positive on, but just to explain why it's going to look like that. So number 1 is limiting beliefs or love limitations. So, in the culture of I'm sorry, let me put that back up. In the culture of like relationships, relationship coaching, people teaching about relationships, I'm sure you're going to hear limiting beliefs. You hear it everywhere. I have even said love limitations, right? That's what I will call it specifically because I'm talking about love. I'm talking about love attraction. But when you hear these words, this is what I want you to translate it to as the language swap in your mind. Because limiting beliefs, that is like a rosy way to say something. Oh, you're limiting beliefs. You know, beliefs is still a strong word. Limiting is just kind of something you can overcome. I don't want to oversimplify it, and I don't want it to seem that easy, right? It's not just limiting beliefs or love limitations. It's actually lies you tell yourself. Love limitations or limiting beliefs are actually lies you tell yourself that get in the way of attracting love. That's what they are. They're not limiting beliefs. They're not love limitations. We can call them that, for the sake of if you need to classify it as something. But when we get down to the nitty gritty, it really is just lies you're telling yourself, and they're getting in the way of you attracting love. And what I want you to replace that with is a love affirmation. So that's, starting early. Yes, I'm getting right to it. So we're going to replace it with a love affirmation, right? So I'll give you an example. A lie you might tell yourself that's getting in the way of you attracting love. I got the fellas on tonight, so I'm going to talk to y'all. You might say, all sisters out there, they want a 6-figure brother who's 6 feet tall. I don't got no chance at that. All women want a 6-figure dude who's 6 feet tall. That's not true. Are there women like that? Absolutely there are. Are there really loud ones like that? Absolutely. Could you be inundated with that messaging? Absolutely. Could there be agendas to push that? Absolutely. But is it true that all? No. So the way to get around the lie that you're telling yourself is to affirm yourself, right? It's to affirm. So instead of all women want a man who makes 6 figures and is 6 feet tall, you would just affirm whatever it is you are. There are plenty of women out there that would appreciate a hardworking man earning an honest living at whatever height he is. Now that's true. That's true for you, and it's true for a bunch of other people. But that's positive. That is taking away a limitation that you're putting on yourself, which you're actually lying to yourself about, because it's not true. And you're giving yourself something positive to affirm. Absolutely. We know that putting like all on something, all men, all women, we know that that's not true anyway. That negates everything. You know one exception to the rule, and it can't be an all. So we really should kind of get that out of the way anyway. So let's get to number 2. Number 2 is wait. Wait. And again, this is the 7 love swaps to make. Number 2 is wait. Now, let me tell you the definition of wait, right? Because you'll hear this. Oh, just wait your turn. You just gotta be patient, like in your waiting, right? And we'll hear that, right? And people will try to force upon you that you have to wait, right? You should, if you're not happy about that, or you're not in a season of waiting, something's wrong with you. But wait means to remain stationary in readiness. Remain stationary. You're not doing anything. Like you're just there. You're remaining, okay? Like it's very passive, right? I would encourage you to swap it out for expect. We don't wait. We expect. Why? When you expect, you regard something as likely to happen. That's a faith move. That's active. That's positive, right? You expect. I'm not waiting on someone to get their act together. I expect it, right? Hey, Bree. Just letting Jesus do all the work. In this particular example, I'm okay with that. So no, we don't wait. Okay, we expect. Next would be hard, right? How many times, and this is under the 7 love swaps, this is number 3. How many times do we either hear someone saying this or we rehearse it ourselves? Oh, it's so hard. Like, oh, I'm doing this, but man, it's just so hard, right? We reinforce this. We tell ourselves this. We tell the people who we're going through things with. We tell our friends this. We tell our coworkers this. We tell our kids this. We reiterate this. It's so hard, right? Let me tell you what the definition of hard is. Done with a great deal of force or strength. Now, ladies, I'm talking to y'all on this one. You know, I teach the importance and the value of femininity, right? I'm not a femininity coach, but a big part of love attraction and like the staple teachings I have is around reconnecting and defining, your own feminine. It's really important. And hard doesn't align with feminine. It doesn't. Done with a great deal of force or strength. I don't want to be hard. You want to know some synonyms for hard? Inflexible, rigid, resisting, exhausting. Did any of those words feel positive, flowy, feminine, soft, anything? No. Not at all. Not at all. I got to ignore y'all in the chat. Y'all is having a good time though. All the regulars are here, having a good time, joining on the chat. So we don't want hard. So what do we want? We'll take challenging. Instead of hard, we'll take challenging. Okay? We will take challenging instead of hard. Because challenging is testing one's abilities. It's inviting competition. We'll invite the competition. Usually the competition is the new me versus the old me. It's not necessarily against anyone else. I'll test my own abilities. You know why? Here's the difference, right? We avoid hard because that carries an energy of difficulty, right? Of struggle. We don't want that. But challenging, testing one's abilities, that is rewarding, right? Something can be accomplished when it's challenging. So make that swap. We don't do hard anymore. We do challenging. Okay? So now in number 4, I gotta shake some tables. Independent. Yeah, thank you, honey. New and old you. That I freestyled that one. Hey, Kalandra. I'm done with Shaka. No Usher slander. I heard he's married now. If he is, kudos to his wife. So, independent, right? We don't want to be independent. We don't want to be independent. You know why? Let me tell you what independent is. Independent is not requiring or relying on others for care or livelihood. So, for all of the independent ladies that like to only talk about being independent in regards to finances, oh, I make my own money. I don't need a man for money. I don't. Yeah, we know. Independent isn't only about provision or finances, it is also about care. So if you're going to be independent and label yourself as such, understand that that also comes with it. I had like this brilliant idea today, right? Like I feel like I could fix like everything with this one thing. Like if I was a matchmaker, I feel like the independent women should be with the men who don't want to take care of women. Wouldn't that work? Like, don't that make sense? Like, you are hollering that you don't need a man for his money. You don't need a man. You could take care of yourself, all that, right? And he's like, cool, don't want to take care of you. No way. Why don't y'all be together? And then the men that want to provide and the women that want to be provided for are left and they could be together. I feel like that fixes everything. But okay. Anyway, we don't want to be independent. Okay? We do not want to be independent. We want to be self-sufficient. Self-sufficient means you are not needing no outside help in satisfying one's basic needs. So the difference between independent and self-sufficient is independent implies standalone, not needing anyone. Self-sufficient welcomes the help, is fine with needing others, but is able to stand alone. Could be fine alone, but is able to accept help. So would you want an independent woman or would you want a self-sufficient woman? Just asking. Up to you. Number 5. And I know this is going to hit home for a lot of women. This has been said about me in a past life when I had not gotten in touch with my feminine side. Aggressive. Right? So 7 love swaps to make. Number 5 is aggressive. Aggressive means a disposition to dominate, often in disregard of others. Aggressive. It's worse than we thought. We already don't like being called aggressive, but man, when you look at the actual definition, it's like, I don't want to be that. Aggressive. That's not feminine. It's not a compliment to be called aggressive. Yeah. Yup. Recovering tough girl. I know. I mean, me too. I used to get it all the time. Like, you're so aggressive. I mean, I'm an extrovert too. I got a big personality. I was a rapper. Clearly, I had a lot of things going on. Shaka. Not the self-sufficient in the zombie apocalypse. Okay. I cannot. See, I'm gonna let the fellas speak on this one because I really feel, and thank you, Shaka, for like the shock value. Okay. Aggressive is dealing with another dude. Like, literally, that's how dudes take it. Like, it's not a little thing, ladies. Like, I got what you meant, bro. It's like dealing with another dude. Right? So ladies, we don't want to be aggressive. Let me tell you what we can be though. We can be assertive. Okay? So instead of being aggressive, you can be assertive. Why? Assertive is having or showing a confident or forceful personality. It's communicating in a direct and honest manner without hurting anyone's feelings. Doesn't that seem like the feminine equivalent? So, no, being feminine does not mean you're a doormat. It does not mean you don't have opinions. It does not mean you don't express yourself. It doesn't mean that you don't speak up, you don't have boundaries. It just means you find a way to do it in a soft, more effective way, right? You do not take on masculine traits and mannerisms in order to get your point across. Like, my thing is like, I'm not raising my voice, I'm improving my argument. And by argument, I don't mean like back and forth. I mean like my stance, what I'm saying. I'm going to improve how I speak about things. I'm going to improve the words I choose, the timing I choose, the tone I choose. I'm going to improve those things. I'm not going to become more aggressive because I feel passionately about something, which is what we hear a lot too. That's an excuse. I was guilty, right? So I'm not judging. I'm calling a spade though. Like saying, oh, I'm just passionate. Like, that's how I get when. No, you lack emotional control and discipline. You lack femininity. That's what that is. So yeah. Let me see if y'all said anything about this or y'all still talking about Usher. Okay. So as a man, I have no idea what to do with an aggressive woman. That energy says fight. This is such a good thing because the more I learned about femininity, right? Like, the easiest thing you can do, ladies, at the beginning of your femininity journey is just not be a man. Like, it don't get no simpler than that. Like, just watch men in their natural habitats, like where there's no women. Watch them in like barbershops, playing sports, like different things. Watch how they are with each other. If you display similar traits, something needs to change. When men are playing sports, they're aggressive, they're in each other's face, they're loud, they're like. So if you're in regular conversation and your demeanor matches that of when they're playing sports, it doesn't line up, okay? But I can't because you're a woman, right? So it leaves men confused because they look at us, right? And their natural instinct is to protect us, right? Their natural instinct is to respond to us with loving care. So when we come across with all of this aggressive, strong energy, it does not inspire in them the desire to provide, to protect, it doesn't inspire them that way. It's the simplest thing. And when you see certain women, right? And I'm not gonna listen, I'm just gonna say certain, and you fill in the blank with what the certains is. You know what the certains is. You see certain women and you see men kind of just tripping over themselves to help her. Whether it's making sure the door gets open. And I'm not just talking about like her man. I'm talking about men in the vicinity of her. If she's walking near a door and a man is near it, he's going to hold it open and wait for her to walk through. Right? There's a certain air about her. A certain something that inspires him to go into action, to go into protection, provision. So that's strangers. So think about in your dating and romantic relationships. Like, let's just talk about dating. If you're dating, and we'll take the simplest things, you go open your door. That's one less thing he's not thinking he needs to do for you because you're doing it yourself. So you could look at it and say, well, it's just a door. I could do it myself. Okay. You're just turning his brain off from what to do for you and from how to see you. You want him to see you as like the gentle flower, the woman he should be taking care of, the woman he should be protecting, opening doors for, like going in front of, making sure no hurt is coming to her, making sure she's good, checking temperature. Like, you want that. And if you're just stomping through doing everything for yourself because you can, okay. I mean, I'm learning the line. Like, instead of saying, don't insult me, I say, it's okay to just say I look nice. That's cute. That's cute. Cause it's like, come on. You know what I mean? It's like the polite check. You know what I mean? It's like, don't be nasty to me. I'm just a girl, right, Brianna? I'm just a girl. How you present yourself is how people see you. Yeah. Thank you, Shaka. Timing and tone is a superpower and cheat code. And I taught that lesson in How to Get Anything You Want from a Man. Timing and tone are two of the things you need to master. Men are simple, but you need to abide by the rules that they, what's important to them. So if it's 3 things, it's all 3 things. Like, you can't come with 1.5 thinking you about to get all 3 treatment. Don't work like that. Yep. All right. So let me get back. So we don't want to be aggressive. We want to be assertive, right? We want to be assertive. That's what we want to be. I got 2 more before I can get to Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and move a little more quickly. Number 6 is freedom. Okay. Freedom. And this is number 6 of the 7 love swaps to make. So freedom. What I mean by freedom is, like, say you're dating and, things are going well or whatever, but you're feeling a little like things might be moving too fast. Or you're feeling like you need a little bit to yourself. And you use the term like, I need my freedom. I need a little more freedom. I need to feel free. That's not the best way to go about it. Freedom implies like a feeling of like being controlled, right? It comes off as more like an attack, right? When people want to get out of something, they're usually like, yo, I need my freedom. Right? That's when freedom is used. When people are in a healthy situation, they say like, I feel free to be myself. They don't say like, I got freedom. they don't say that. So instead of like, oh, I need my freedom, I recommend you say like, I need a little space. And not just general, like you would want to say, oh, I need a little space for myself. I need a little space to do X, Y, Z. So you want to be specific about the space so the person knows that it's not a dig at them. Like, it's not something for them to take personal. Because the difference between freedom and space is like, space implies like solitude, right? Solitude. And when you look up the definition, space in this context, it's the distance that a person needs in order to remain comfortable. So again, let's go back to the energy of words, right? Freedom, while it's something we want, and I'm not saying freedom is negative, I'm saying the way it's being used, it's usually in a negative connotation. So instead of, in those cases, freedom, you might want to switch it and say space. And I see I'm missing a lot of comments. I don't know what y'all got going on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. So Shaka started with, it's offensive for a man to say a woman lacks feminine qualities. That doesn't go well. It's best y'all learn from a woman. It's so funny though, because then when a woman says it, they're like, well, who are you to judge? Who made you the authority on femininity? And it's literally the reason why I position my femininity lessons the way I do. I always put a lot of disclaimers about the fact that femininity, there are certain qualities and things that I think are universal. And you can find out more about this in my series, Define Your Feminine, right? Define Your Feminine. Whole series. There's like 9 videos. Go watch that. I dig deeper into the lessons. But it's one of those touchy things where women get really offended, right? It's like, you're telling me I'm not a woman. Well, I mean, I can't say nothing about your parts, but I can say something about how you represent yourself. I mean, I can say something about that. That's what you're putting out there. So I try my best, and that's why I share. Like, I'm not judging, because a lot of these things I can teach on them because I either made the mistakes, they were things I had to correct, they were things that were holding me back. And once I made the change, that's when everything started opening up for me. Like, my husband and I can laugh now at, old posts that I made, or like if I show him different videos from before him, but he don't know her. He's like, wow, babe. I'm like, thank God we're married. But he's like, wow, you've evolved. And I'm like, yes, I have. And I'm going to keep doing it. So ladies, it's a process, right? So Will, what did you say? You're clearly lady your presentation. When if you present those negative energies, people stop looking at the lady and start focusing on that negative presentation. That's so true. That's what I mean. Like, men, like, they're not going to convince you to be more than you're being. Like, if they love you and like they're invested in you, maybe. But I find I think it'll be an anomaly for a man to even get that close to you and invest in you if they see you presenting one way and they're trying to see you differently. Like, they're going to see you where you are. Men don't do the vision casting that women do. We look at men and be like, yeah, if I clean that up, move that, do that, teach him this, take him here, like build a man. We can do that. That is because God made us to be visionaries, but not in terms of, we shouldn't be building men like that. Our vision skills should be for our husband, the man that comes into our lives, that suits us, that we can learn from, that we can respect and listen to, that we can see his vision and improve it. And I mean, if you're, blessed like me, you can have a husband that has space for you to have your separate vision that he supports, like best of both worlds. Doesn't always work that way though. So yeah, Shaka's agreeing with that. Okay, hold on. I don't want to skip, but y'all are having a whole conversation and I don't know if it's like, Oh, God, vision. Thank you. Thank you. Let me get to the last one. So 7. Fellas, you might not like this, but I feel like y'all keep it real though. I feel like y'all keep it real, so y'all gonna back me up. Ladies, quit with the sexy. All right? Quit describing yourself as sexy. Quit it. Quit it. Quit it. Quit it. So this is the final love swap to make. Sexy. Let me tell you what the dictionary definition is, and then I'll tell you mine. Sexy is sexually suggestive, sexually attractive or exciting. Notice all the sexualies, right? My definition is like sex you. When you say I'm sexy, they be like, I want to sex you. Like that's how it goes. I'm sexy, cool. I want to sex you. That's what that means. That's how that goes. I've said it before. I'm not judging. I'm telling you, it's not the best thing to say though. It's not the best thing to say unless that's the energy you want to get back. Remember, these words are not just words. They carry energy with them. So if you are complaining about men seeing you one way, or you're complaining about men not committing or taking you seriously, or intentionally dating you, courting you, putting in the effort, but you're describing yourself as sexy, or they're calling you sexy and you're taking that as a compliment. Sexy is not the compliment you think it is. I don't know. Let me hold on. Look, yup. Hold on. Look. I hate that word. Come on, back me up. Yes. If a man says my woman is sexy, we got a combo to have. They don't. Like, not quality men. My husband never describes me as sexy to no one. He will tell me I look sexy, but that's for me and him. He's never going to describe me that way online or in a conversation. Why? Because sexy means sex you. He don't want nobody else looking at me thinking about sex. So he's not going to use that word, especially when you don't know what it means. Yes, please stop. Just stop. Y'all don't like sexy. They like sexy for sexy. Right? Fellas, chime in. Y'all like, we didn't say you didn't like sexy. I think everybody likes sexy, but sexy has its place, is the point. And that place is not in casual dating. That place is not in a dating app profile. That place is not in your Facebook description. It's not in the 3 words that you use to describe yourself. It's not there. That ain't the place for it. Hey Toya, glad you're here. I can't stand when a man calls me sexy. I remember when I thought it was a compliment. Long time ago. Had to be my college years when I was young and dumb. It's all about sex. It is. Come on, like, sex is in the word. Sexy. Sex, why? Sex you. Like, I can't unsee it now. Nah, yo. Everyone always calls me adorable. I don't think that's a good word either. That adorable is for kids. You know? Adorable. I don't know. I'll let the fellas. Does adorable align with like woman you want to take care of? I think adorable could be cute, like from your man when you're pouting. And he's like, oh, you so cute. You so adorable when you pout like that. Like, that's cool. You see how that's a good illustration. Thank you, Brianna. That's a good word, right? Because it's not a bad word. There's no bad words, first of all. I'm sorry. I don't even use that. It's not a negative word, though. But it's all about the energy of it. It's all about how it's used, when it's used, who's using it, right? He said adorable is dope. So see, like, Shaka didn't have the same response as me. So it depends. Like the men who are saying it to you, maybe that is their top tier compliment. I don't know. That was my perception. I always thought like kid sister. That's what I ain't gonna lie, Brie. That's what I got when you said it. I immediately thought like adorable is little cutesy, like I see you like a little sister, like oh yeah, that really makes me reevaluate some conversations. I think it just, you know what? I think overall this conversation just causes us to think like I need more clarity because there are actual definitions for words, then there is context of words, then it is intention behind words, like tone of the word, person saying, like there's a lot of things that go into it. So depending on the conversation, you might want to go back. You might want to have some follow up. I never thought I was sexy. I don't do sexy well. I think sexy is to be, I think all women have a sexy that comes out naturally when they have their person, when they're comfortable. I never like that word, especially a woman who describes herself as such. Good thing I changed that. Might have lost my jackpot. Shoot. Glad I changed that. Y'all better listen to me. I will tell my lady that. Yeah. My lady, your lady. So see, like even Shaka is giving more context in which sometimes the word is appropriate depending on a relationship, right? Depending on the investment. If a man is invested in you, and please let's not be narrow-minded. I don't want to have to, every time I say investment, people think that that's money. Like money is one part of an investment. Okay, I'm not saying that. But nah, it ain't outside, right? I don't let my daughter use that word at all. Absolutely. Yeah, we tell Shelby that's a grown-up word. It's a grown-up word. Brianna, lots of women do. Lots of women do, and they get lots of men swiping. Okay? Yeah, context matters. Oh, see, yeah, it's not type tier, but I think it can be cute. It can be cute. I'm putting a pin in this one. I'm gonna ask. Yeah. See, though, maybe because I'm way older than Brie. I don't know. And Brianna, no, I don't think he sees you as a kid, but I think he's just giving context. Like it doesn't have to automatically mean that a man is seeing you as a kid. I think he's just giving that other perspective, like to be open-minded. Context is critical. Hey, Kalandra, my queen's court is in here. Context is critical with words. If I'm not sure I'm quite getting what a person is saying, I will ask to go a little deeper just to make sure I'm clear and we're on the same page. That is a very good skill set to have and practice, because they could be meaning something completely different than you're picking up. And that's what conversation is for, right? You speak, I listen, I say back to you what I think I heard and interpreted. You let me know if that is correct or you correct me. Like that's conversation. I don't know how we got to this space where it's like arguing. That's not arguing. That's just having a conversation and wanting clarity. So good for you, Kalandra. We all need to do that. Oh, I think Brie is adorable, like lovable, cute, funny. No, I think that is what adorable is. You're right. But I can't say what I want to say because it would have came out the wrong way. I was gonna say though, do you look at Brie as like the little sister or as one of the women you could date? I think that's the difference between, you know what I mean? I think that's the difference. She said, aw, thanks, man. Yes, love that. Yo, they do. I see it all the time. Yup, sexy red. Yup, baby, be quiet. Don't say that. Yeah, she a grown woman. That's funny. Okay, awesome. So I got through. Now, instead of, do y'all want to know what you should be instead of sexy? Y'all got off on a tangent, ain't even asked me what the swap is. The swap for sexy, I love this one. This my judge, okay? I didn't even know what it meant, and I started using it because it just felt like I just identified with it. It just felt right to me. But when I looked it up tonight, I was like, whoo, jackpot. Now we're not sexy ladies, but we are alluring. You could be alluring. You know why? Alluring is powerfully and mysteriously attractive or fascinating. That is like femininity wrapped up in a nice little thing. Like, you're fascinating. You want to be captivating, right? Powerful, but mysterious. Not overly, but more like, you know, alluring. So we're okay with being alluring. All right, that's the lessons, right? So I'm not going to go over the negatives. I'm just going to repeat the positives, right? The positives is we're not lying to ourselves anymore. You're going to replace the lies with the love affirmation. So that's something positive. We're not waiting, we're expecting. It's not hard, it is challenging. We're not independent, we are self-sufficient. We're not aggressive, we are assertive. We're not wanting our freedom. We just need a little space for ourselves. And we're not sexy. We're not sexy, but we are alluring. We are alluring. So now, Q&A. Q&A. Before I get to the coaching gym and the mastery tip, let me try to get caught up with y'all chatting here. But get y'all questions ready. Anybody that is on the live, anybody that is new. Once we go through the lesson, I leave, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how the questions are coming in, how the conversation is flowing. And this is your opportunity to basically get no cost coaching. So no questions are off limits. Obviously, ask the ones about the topic first, but if you don't have any, and I've just done such a great job, you can ask any question you want. So let's see. Yes, I like mysterious. Yes, alluring. Yep, that's the swap for sexy. It's alluring. I like mysterious. Yes, I like alluring. Go on and use those Danielle Steele words. They don't know about Danielle Steele, yo. They don't know about that. I love fascinating. Fascinating. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Yeah. Captivating. I like that a lot too. All right, Bree, fascinating. You like that word because you are. You're very fascinating, Brianna. You're very got a lot of dimensions to you. There's a lot to discover. You're definitely fascinating. So maybe now having that word, you can lean more into that piece of your feminine side. Yeah, pretty and smart. Yeah. Yep. An airport book word. Well, we like those, better than sexy. That's like a hood word. Let me not do that. I'm sorry, because there's nothing wrong with hood words, okay? I got hood vocabulary and I'm cool with it. It's not a problem. We're not going to do that. Sexy is just, it's low level. It's not the energy that we're trying to attract. You know, it's not what we want to put out there for general consumption. You know, sexy should be reserved. And that's one of the things that I try to teach. Like, I know I get a bad rap sometimes because it's like, oh, Deanna, you're being a prude, or you're like telling us not to have sex. Like, I'm not saying don't have sex ever. I'm not saying like don't be sexy. I'm not saying any of these things. I'm saying there's levels to it, and everyone shouldn't access you that way. Like, if you're trying to be a wife, no man wants a wife that every man had, or that just even gives the appearance, right? That there's even the vibe that she's easily attainable. No man wants to sign up to give you his last name, have you represent him, and feel like he's unsure, like he's not winning you. Any old body could have just had you because you sexy. Come on, we got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to take it to another space. I understand. Listen, I went to college. I had the fun. Listen, I'm not judging. I promise you. I'm not like up here, like looking down, like, no, I'm saying Hove did that. You ain't had to do that. You know what I mean? I'm saying, let me tell you the things to avoid so you can get right to the good part. I had to go through a lot of not good parts. I don't want y'all to have that type of journey. I would love for y'all to not even know what it's like to go through some of the things I went through. That's why I'm telling you, like, yeah, that might seem fun. You know, it might seem cool, but it's a deterrent, right? It's a detour from where you're trying to go. So avoid it. Oh, Donald Goines too, babe. That's a good one. I went too fast on the review. I spent I spent almost an hour on it. You gotta go back, Bree. Super NY mixed with B more black voice. You look alluring. You look alluring. I don't know. I done lost it now. Oh man, Will. That's funny. Okay. I love that word. One of my favorites. Y'all got any questions? If not, I'm about to log off. I gotta call my husband and be sexy. Yeah, get to peeling back these layers. That's right. Yo, facts. Every time we learn something about Bree. I just learned Bree plays like 2 instruments, 2 or more. I'm like, Bree's a Renaissance woman, yo. She's definitely fascinating. Look, I play cello. Look at that. And what's the other one, Bree? What's the other thing you play? It was a completely different instrument too, not like a string. Like, turn around. Nope, we sure didn't. Yep, fascinating ones. Yep, musicals and show tunes. We're about to get Bree to perform. Oh, you got a question. Okay. Why is it that people allow the negative energy of others through their words change our state of being? That's a really good question. I think the more other people impact you, the less control of self you have. And I'm saying this from experience. Like, I'm saying this from a place of, like, this is an area that I'm actively working in. Like, I am constantly telling myself certain mantras, affirmations, and things to regain control of myself. Like, when I get angry, when I feel like I'm going to raise my voice, when I feel like I'm going to use negatively charged words, like when I feel myself getting too involved from others' things. I think it just shows a lack of self awareness, self control. Um, and it's just a reminder to reconnect to self. When I see myself getting carried away with outside things like that are not me, that's a wake up call for me. I'm like, okay, I need a nap. I need to journal. I need to go for a walk. I need to work out. I need to just like get back to me. So that's my thought on that. When people are very heavily impacted by outside sources, it's because the inside they're like really out of control there. Okay, all the fascinating talk. Yeah, we all got layers. Yoga, guns, love it. Well, I just answered Will's question. Don't know if y'all heard it. Oh, the clarinet. Okay. Let's see. All right, I don't see any questions. So, because I don't see any questions, I'm assuming y'all enjoyed the lesson tonight. So let me go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for the question, honey. I love you so much. You're the best. Can't wait to call you after. My coaching gem. Please remember that changing your language isn't just about the words. It's also about the energy of the words. And every now and again, I'm going to throw in a mastery tip. And I hope my ladies that are on here that are in my membership don't mind. But this is something that I taught to them a while ago. So they're truly ahead of the game. They already have mastered this. But I'm hoping that this will help you with your language swaps, right? Mastery tip. If you can't put, and that's just how I want it, at the end of whatever you're saying, you should rethink and rephrase it. So for instance, I just feel so fat. And that's just how I want it. Is that a sentence that I should really be repeating? No. There's just no good men out here that's going to want to be with a single mom. And that's just how I want it. Is that a sentence that you should be repeating? No. Notice how the energy does not align. It's not something that you want to repeat. So use that. Like every now and again, when you're saying something, just end it with, and that's just how I want it. If it's not something that you actually want to experience, you might want to rethink and rephrase it. So listen, I am getting ready to go on a love sabbatical with my amazing husband. We will have been married for a year on February 21st. It is our 1-year wedding anniversary. And we are taking a romantic getaway where we are just unplugging, having a good time. Now, if you're on my email list, you're still going to get emails. You're still going to get updates. You're still going to get a video. If you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'm still going to broadcast something on Monday, but I won't be going live. So next Monday, it will be like a reposting of something. I haven't decided what it is yet, but it'll be something good. If you've watched it already, watch it again. There's a reason why it's coming up again. Make sure you like it, leave a comment, share it with somebody else. Okay. Please, in March, I am revamping and relaunching my introductory Love Attraction Mastery course. It is a transformational 4-week small group course. It is 4 live calls where we do interactive lessons that you will have the whole week to kind of meditate on, Really do them. Really make sure that you are shifting your mindset, removing all of those lies that you tell yourself, aka love limitations. You're going to learn about healthy love mindsets. You're going to create your queen embodiment regimen. You are going to create your king power partner profile, or the reverse. If you're, a gentleman and you want to take the course, you're welcome to do so. I'm not teaching femininity, so it's not focused on women. It is specifically love attraction, so all are welcome. There's only 10 spaces because it's a small group and you get my exact attention, like my individual attention. You get that. It is a small investment, and I, against my team's advisement, have a reduced price that is going to be available until February 16th. Once I announce it publicly, and put out my promotion for it, it's going to be a different price. So if you are interested in the least bit, if you like my teaching style, if you have seen the results that I'm posting, I just posted a proposal today. If you align with me, you're here for a reason, I speak to you, you believe that I can assist you on your journey, give me 4 weeks. It will completely change you and you will forever want to be in my world. I promise you. So if you're interested, go to destinationdiana.com, click on the banner to be contacted with the special deal. Okay. It's only good until February 16th. So I love you all. I'm going to check in just because I see there's some comments. Please remember that every Monday I go live, at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's a topic-based lesson. If you're in my love attraction community, you actually get to give me input and ask for topics and I cover them. Bree has given me a bunch of great topics and we've had amazing conversation because it's what everyone wanted to talk about. So join the free love attraction community if you want to be involved in the conversation that way. Let me see. What did I miss? Oh, Bree had a question. I'm sorry, Bree. I didn't see that. Let me put it on the screen. I'm sorry about that. I was about to click off. I didn't even see it. My bad. Bree said, is it that we are affected by other people's words or actions because we don't know or not aware of what they mean? Yeah. I think a lot of times we filter what people say to us through our understanding or our experience, right? So for instance, say I had somebody in the past that was always calling me sexy and it was a problem, or I felt violated or something like that. It would automatically be a trigger for me. Whereas someone else, that might have been a compliment to them. So someone not calling them sexy, or you get what I'm saying? We filter things through our experience and what we know. So if you're confused about what someone is saying, or you're I don't know how to take that, it can leave you in a bothered state because you don't know what to do with it. You're confused. And confused energy is not positive energy either. So yeah, it could definitely be because you're not aware of what they mean. This goes back to what Kalandra was saying about asking those questions hey, I want to talk with you, but I'm not picking up what you're putting down. What's that? Okay. People look for reasons not to do the uncomfy stuff. So if people tell you things that feed what you don't want to do, then they are rolling with that. That's interesting. Feed what you don't want to do. I think this touches me differently because as a coach, I experience that a lot, right? I experience it less and less the more experienced I get with reading clients, and um the more clients I have, because the more people you serve, you just end up serving the same people, if that makes sense. Like, you start to see the humanality of everyone, right? And there's a lot of similarities. Like, no two people are the same, but there are certain behaviors that just show up over and over again. And it's like, when people are not ready to hear a particular thing, just like what you're saying, Shaka, like, if they're not ready to move in an area, they're not ready to address something, good luck with that conversation. More than likely, they're shutting it down. Some people are self aware and will say, I'm not ready for that. That's rare, though. Very rare. And that's just how I want it. I struggle communicating the stuff I go through because I'm trying to keep it positive. How do I be honest but still keep it positive? I think it's more important to keep it positive with yourself. So don't ruminate on negativity. You can feel it, you can acknowledge it, like the truth of it, but don't rehearse it over and over again, and don't ruminate. And with people, this is a personal preference, right? So I'm going to say this, but I'm going to give a disclaimer because it might not be the best advice for everyone. This works for my personality type, okay? I'm not trying to carry too many things because I'm always managing a lot of people's emotions. And because of that, with my own emotions, I still try to process those kind of quickly. So it's like I've developed a habit of feel it, like call it what it is, be okay with feeling that, and then figuring out how do I now create what I want to feel, because I have the choice. I have the power to create that. But notice I did all those other steps before. I don't rush to it, but I don't linger in the other things either. So if you're trying to keep it positive, I would say with yourself, you got to go through that stuff. You got to know what it is, be aware of it, call it what it is, be okay with it, forgive yourself if you need to. You got to move through all those stages, and then you got to say, I'm deciding, and figure out what you decide and create from there. But when it comes to other people, and when you got to be honest with them, again, this is my own personal preference. I'm not saying you got to do it. But sometimes I weigh whether or not the conversation is going to be fruitful, right? Because other people can be taxing. Go back to the other question, right? When other people's emotions get on us, or we get wrapped up in other people's stuff. I don't care how like high and emotional intelligence you are, there will still always be people that rattle you. There will always be someone that can just, hit you in a particular way. I don't be trying to, I avoid a lot of that. Like, if I already know you're argumentative, if I already know you're not accountable, if I already, everyone's not your assignment. So I consider, does this need to be said now? Does this need to be said by me? I think those things. I go through that list. Doesn't need to be said, period. Doesn't need to be said by me, and doesn't need to be said right now. 9 times out of 10, it don't. You can say no. You can say no and move on. I rehearse my lows a lot. I think we all go through, there's certain ones too that I think they're a little bit easier, whether it depends on who gave it to you. If there's a certain kind of low point and it's been put there by a parent, or it's something that has been reinforced by multiple people or multiple scenarios or relationships, those can be more difficult. They're going to take a little bit more practice, a little bit more time. So give yourself grace through the process. Like, none of this is like, oh, when you leave here tonight, swap this. You'll never say that again. No, but I can guarantee you what's going to happen is now, whenever you hear any of those words that I mentioned as like negative connotation or ones that we should swap, you're not going to hear them the same. Like, you're not going to be as receptive to them. You're not going to be as open to them because you've now been enlightened in that way. Yep. That's a good one, babe. You have all that you need. Yes, you can visit, but you can't live there. That's what I say about Victim Island. It's like, it's okay to acknowledge like you may have been a victim to somebody else's BS. You know what I mean? Or you could have been a victim to your own stupidity and poor choices, right? But we don't live on Victim Island. Like, we might visit from time to time, but we don't live there, right? Just passing by sometimes here and there. We trying to live in empowerment estates. You got to be accountable to live there. Yeah. Yep. You can have a moment, then you got to go. Ooh, try rehearsing your highs and watch how those lows fade to black. Absolutely. Like, do the opposite of it. I think I do it as a way to not end up there again. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. The only thing is, think about how attraction works, right? You are rehearsing something that you don't want, which actually is telling God, universe, source, whatever you want to say, that you want more of that. Because you keep rehearsing it and ruminating on it instead of putting your energy on what you do want. So, and that's just how I want it. Like, add that. Cool. Is the conversation fruitful? I'm telling you, that will change a lot. That will change a lot. Like, it has even changed how I interact on social media, right? I see so many things that I'm like, that's wrong. That makes no sense. That's not helpful. That's that, right? But if I was responding to everything that was like that, like, I'm not in the norm anymore. So of course I have the alternative thoughts. Of course I could always have something to add to a discussion that's going to be different than what 90% of the people are saying. But most of those people are not my assignment, right? You can look right at their page. You can look at what they're reinforcing. You can look at the fact that they're not open to hearing anything new. They just want people to agree with them, or they want to, stir up drama. So I think about that. Like, is this person crying out for help and, this advice might really help them? Or is this person trolling? Is this person just looking for attention? Like, discern those things. And then I'm like, well, I don't do this for free. I'm not giving y'all my thoughts. That's for people who want to be here, who have elected to take time out of their day, even if you're not my paid client, right? If you come and you take your time and you sit on this live, you're invested. So I'm invested in you. So I'm going to give y'all my thoughts, my deep coaching and teachings. Well, not my deep, those clients, but you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying? That's good. Yep. Yeah, I don't fight fights that have no resolution. Absolutely. See, and that's the place we get to, right? That's all right, bro. That's the advanced level, right? That's when you got to be like, you got it. You got it. You know how many things I see? I'm like, it's, one of my favorite things to do is ditch the sowing is believing mantra and replace it with you'll see it when you believe it. You say that all the time too. I love that. Will always got a good one. Always got a good one. I don't have to say certain things that I know. Yo, that's one of the most freeing things ever. Like, just because I know it does not mean I have to say it. Not my responsibility. Absolutely not. There's people that pay for help. They want it. They didn't ask. Like, that's what I be telling myself now. Before I'm like, they didn't ask. They did not ask. They made their comment, cool. Like, mind your business, keep going. That's not for you. You got bigger fish to fry. Yep. Everyone is not your assignment. And that is for everyone. It's not just a coaching thing. That's like in life. You only got a certain amount of energy, right? Every day it gets replenished. But do you want to spend it negatively, like, or being upset? Nope. Master of your universe, absolutely. Are you working hard, or are you enjoying the challenge of the work? Are you challenging yourself to put in the work? There we go. I'm challenging myself to grow. I'm not working hard. There you go. Look, corrected yourself. Good. I'm really where I'm supposed to be. This is great. That's awesome. Good show, sis. All right. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. This was a great lesson. If you tuned in later, please go back and watch. It was change your language to attract love. We specifically gave 7 swaps that you can make that will help you do that. Please remember, I have a course that is starting in March. It really will catapult your results. Okay. So go to destinationdeanna.com. Click on the banner so that you can be notified. It is only good until February 16th. After that, the price is going up and I only have 10 spaces. So, love you. Remember that God is love. We are of God. So, attracting love should be easy, especially when you have me as your guide. All right. I love you all. I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right.